Okay, let's be real. You can't escape it. Generative AI it's everywhere. It's the buzzword that's supposed to change, well, everything. But with all that hype, it's easy to get lost. What is this stuff, really? How does it actually work? And what does it mean for you? Well, that's what we're here for. In this explainer, we're going to cut right through the noise and break it all down. Here's the plan. We'll start by taking a peek under the hood to see how these things actually think. Then, we'll check out how AI is already shaking up the workplace and how you can get your own personal AI assistant. We'll also do a much-needed reality check on the risks, because, yeah, there are risks. And finally, we'll look ahead to what's coming down the pike.
All right, let's get right into it. If you really want to get what generative AI is all about, you've got to look past the magic and get into the actual mechanics.
So, at its core, generative AI is a pretty special kind of artificial intelligence. You see, most AI is really good at analyzing data or spotting patterns to make a prediction. Generative AI, though, it goes one giant step further. It doesn't just process information, it actually creates brand new stuff. I'm talking original text, images, music, even computer code.
But how in the world does a machine learn to read and write? Well, the secret sauce is breaking down language into these tiny little building blocks called tokens. You can just think of them as pieces of words. The AI model isn't really seeing full sentences the way we do. It's seeing a long sequence of these tokens.
And this is where it gets really cool. Look at what's happening here. On the left, you see normal text, but it's broken up into those tokens. Then, on the right, you see what the AI actually sees. Just a string of numbers. Each number is a stand-in for a specific token. This is it. This is how language gets turned into math, which lets the model calculate what the most likely next token should be.
Okay, but here's the catch, and it's a big one. Most of these AI models are trained on a gigantic but totally static set of data. What that means is their knowledge has a cutoff date. So if you ask it about something that happened last week, or about your company's latest internal report, it has no idea. It's missing that real-time info and private context.
This is where a really elegant solution comes into play. It's called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or just RAG for short. Think of RAG as a bridge. It connects the powerful AI model to the outside world, to external, up-to-date, or even private information. It basically gives the AI a library card so it can go look stuff up on the fly. And this is a perfect way to think about it, using an analogy from Progress Software. A standard AI model, that's like taking a closed book exam. Seriously, it only knows what it's already memorized. That's it. But a RAG-enabled model? Now that's an open book exam. It can look up the facts from trusted sources right then and there to give you an answer that's actually current and accurate. It's a huge difference. So, now that we've got the basic theory down, let's look at how this stuff is actually being put to use out in the real world. We'll start with how it's showing up in the workplace, moving beyond just the hype. The applications across different industries are just incredible. In manufacturing, it's being used for things like forecasting demand, so companies can optimize their inventory. Over in healthcare, it's turbocharging the process of drug discovery. And in banking, it's getting way smarter at spotting fraud and managing risk. This stuff isn't science fiction anymore. It's rapidly becoming the new way of doing business. And this quote from Kathy Wood absolutely nails it. The real power, the real competitive edge, isn't just about using some off-the-shelf AI tool. No, it's about combining that AI with your own, unique, private data. That's the secret sauce for businesses.
But this isn't just a story about big companies. Let's pivot now and talk about how this same technology is becoming a super powerful tool for us as individuals in our day-to-day lives.
The truth is, a whole ecosystem of these specialized AI tools has just exploded onto the scene. You've got communities on places like Reddit that are constantly sharing and documenting them, and these tools are all designed to help you, personally, be more productive, more creative, and just learn faster.
And people are using a whole bunch of different types. You've got your general assistants like ChatGPT or Claude for just spitballing ideas. Then there are specialized research tools, productivity apps that can literally take notes for you in meetings, and even platforms that let you automate complicated tasks without writing a single line of code. Take a tool like Perplexity, for instance. It's not your typical search engine that just spits out a list of links. Instead, it acts like an answer engine. It gives you a direct, synthesized answer, and, this is key, it tells you exactly where it got the information by citing its sources. It's a total game changer for research.
And beyond just getting work done faster, the human impact here is just profound. This quote from a user on Reddit really brings it home. For this person, AI's ability to describe images has been a genuinely life-changing accessibility feature. It just grounds all this abstract tech in a way that, spreadsheets and summaries never could.
Okay, so with all this amazing potential, it is absolutely critical that we talk about the other side of the coin, the risks and the challenges. This tech is far from perfect, and knowing its weaknesses is the key to using it smart.
First on the list is this little problem called hallucinations. And what that means is sometimes the AI just makes things up, out of thin air. It will state something that's totally false, but it'll do it with all the confidence of a seasoned expert.
And you might think, oh, that's probably rare. Nope, not at all. Some studies are showing that the big popular models we all use can have a hallucination rate somewhere between 15 and 20%. Let that sink in for a second. That means the AI could be confidently totally wrong in 1 out of every 5 answers it gives you. That's a pretty big deal. And then there's the whole issue of bias. This chart from a progress study is really eye-opening. You've got 65% of business leaders saying, yup, data bias is a thing in our company. But then you look at how many are actually doing something about it. Only 13%. That is a massive gap between knowing there's a problem and actually fixing it.
And this bias can pop up in a few different nasty ways. It can end up reinforcing harmful stereotypes about people. It can have what's called selection bias, where it just favors certain kinds of answers for no good reason. And yeah, it can even have political biases, where it leans towards whatever ideology was most common in its training data.
And the list doesn't stop there. You've got security problems like prompt injection, where a bad actor can basically trick the AI into breaking its own safety rules. And you always have to remember that data cutoff we talked about, so you're not making decisions based on old, outdated information.
So, after all that, where does this leave us? Well, the truth is this technology is moving at a dizzying speed. The future of it all is literally being written as we speak.
We've seen how generative AI has gone from this really complex theory to a practical tool, and now even a personal assistant. So I guess the final question I want to leave you with is this. As these systems get more and more capable, what are they, really? Are they just another tool, like a hammer or a spreadsheet? Are they becoming true assistants, or are they evolving into something else entirely? The answer to that is going to define our relationship with technology for a long, long time.